Monitoring and evaluation system. Depending on the size of project, amount of data and information you need to collect, there's going to be a time when you need to make a decision about what type of system we need. And the idea of the system is that a way to help you manage and make a good approach about the type of decisions and how you're going to be managing your information so that it's both efficient and effective to the ends of the project. For that, we need to have a good understanding first about how information flows in the project. We look at the elements of locating and collecting information when we are collecting community data, the process of organizing and storing information, the process of analyzing and reporting information, both to primary recipients of information and secondary recipients of information. So all the flow, how information is transformed and eventually moves to the different actors, creates a set of tasks and work that, depending on the volume of data, will need to have a consistent system that we can use, not only in the terms of information flowing one way, but also understanding that information needs also to flow the other way in terms of the decisions that are being made based on information supplied to improve, to change, and to find opportunities to get the project to the goal and to achieve its objectives. Another way to look at the flow is also understanding it in the different phases of the project. From the moment we design a project, information about the log frame, when we start the project and we assign people responsible, to the process of monitoring the project and we are recording, collecting the data and reporting the data, to the phase of project evaluation when we're finally doing our final evaluation results and reporting the findings, to when the project is completed and we have the lessons learned and we need to share. All of that is another flow of information that goes through the life of the project. So the decision about information systems is that eventually you will use some type of computer. How much computer you need depends on the amount of data you need to collect and the type of results. You might start your system with manual process data, with collecting data, organizing them maybe in a set of networked computers, and those information is centrally stored so that even other parties have access to the information and you can create all the reports that are coming from that system. The type of a project, the limitations of the context and environment, access to the internet, and the cost of technology, all are variables that have an influence on what type of information you need and what you can do. One element that is important to understand, and we'll have later more information about this, is the information management cycle. From the process of defining, locating, selecting the information, how we collect it, how we organize and store it, the analysis that we make to the information, the reports, how we use the information, and then the evaluation of the information cycle that help us eventually redefine our whole process and make it more effective. One element that is important in defining our M&E system is that it's a modular approach, that we have at least 7 components in our system that they all need to speak with each other. One of those first modules or components is the integration. The idea is that the system needs to be connected with any other module or any piece of information we are collecting so that we can facilitate the process of analysis and reporting. The first element, the scope, will give us information about the type of work in the project. That is information about the goals, the objectives, outputs, activities, and tasks that we have on the project. The next element is the schedule, which provides information about when the activities will occur. So we have information about the duration, we have a calendar, milestones, and dependencies within activities or even other projects. The other element is the budget that presents information on all the costs of the project. That's where we have information about the estimates, the accounting principles that we're using to record information about our budget, type of currencies, and even we can include information about the conditions of the economy or market conditions that will have influence about our original estimates or changes in the currency or changes in the cost of the things, items, goods and services that we need to procure for the project. The other element that is important in part of our system is the information about the people in charge of the project activities. That's where we define the roles, the responsibilities, the type of skills they have, the competencies they needed, and even information about our partners. They are also responsible for activities in the project. Stakeholders is another important, and that's where we also may include information about beneficiaries. That includes information about where they are, the locations, the type of interest and influence they have on the project, the conditions, and a deep analysis of the stakeholders in terms of the data that help us provide and that will be used for the baseline of the project. Then we have our results, which is the module to help us track the progress against the planned metrics that the project identified in terms of the indicators. We also use it to track information about risks on the project, any issues that we have, information about the process we use to manage the results, and information about quality. At the end, we have an integrated set of systems with key information about the project. So we are collecting all the information that we need on the project, but it's integrated. That means that each of these components can speak to each other. So when we know about the budget, we can also understand its relationship with the schedule. When we're talking about stakeholders, we have a relationship about the scope. So all of these components are eventually connected with each other and makes the analysis and the reporting of the data much easier, and you can get better understanding about what the project is doing.